Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. The views and opinions expressed in this video and on UMEradio YouTube channel are those of the host and or the guests and do not necessarily reflect the opinion of UMEradio YouTube channel.
Let's talk
relationships on UMEradio.
So what are we talking about?
Marriage, dating, parenting, business,
And love, emotions, sex.
it's a conversation with me, Lady Misty,
And DJ KTE.
on everything from hot topics to taboos.
Join us Mondays at 9 p.m. live on UMEradio.
Follow us at Let's Talk Relationship Show on Facebook or on UMEradio on Instagram. Let's talk relationships, arguments for the grown.
Get the UMEradio app to listen wherever you are. That is UMEradio, one word.
UMEradio. Positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.
Well, another night. Hello, everybody.
Greetings, everybody.
Lady Misty in the house. How you doing, Lady Misty?
Another night. Good night, everybody.
All right. Welcome to UMEradio, y'all. We're glad to be here tonight again. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Lady Misty, and we're back for another
Yes, we are.
delicious meal. You know, we've been having some real nice meals over the
That's
last
right.
few months, and it's getting better and better. And so as we figuratively prepare the meal tonight, we're gonna hopefully be able to dine and get some nourishment, right? Some vitamins, some proteins, some nutrients for the mind, for the spirit, for the soul. And hopefully we can use those things to, again, empower ourselves. So how was your day, Lady Misty? How was your day? How was your weekend, rather?
It was a very busy one.
Mhm.
It was a very, very busy one. I don't think I have recovered much from it, but
Uh-oh.
I'm here.
I
You
think I
know, it
should.
was a very, very busy weekend into the Monday.
Yes, I think I'm sharing your sentiments because there's a word that said when you're tired. I'm not tired. I'm tired. That's the word. But thank God, I think I'll be able to make it through tonight.
Tired, yes.
Tired.
Great.
Along became myself celebrating my daughter's 21st birthday, and
Oh, congratulations and happy birthday
yeah,
to her.
yeah. So she's now 21 and thinks she's all grown, but
Oh, she grown.
yeah, I tell you, and she's as tiny as you want to get. But
Oh, Lord.
I'm thankful, for everything, and everything went smoothly. Everything went well. Friends, family came out. Her best friends came out, and they had a good time. So
That's
I am
great. I'm happy that
thankful.
she got to spend the time around family and friends. And
Yes.
please wish her a happy birthday from us here at LTR.
Yes, indeed.
Of course, we are here, to inspire positive relationships and positive relationship outcomes in our community. So, as usual, we are looking forward to a great, great show. Let's see who is in the room with us. Is there anybody in the room with us yet?
I think they're showing up soon. They'll be showing up. They'll be showing up.
They'll be showing up, yes. But if you're not in the room yet, if you're in the room, welcome. Those over there on YouTube, those over here, or over there on Facebook, and over here on YouTube. Welcome to another great show tonight.
Mhm.
We want to say a big thank you. We always start with an attitude of gratitude. So we want to say a big thank you to all our partners, our supporters, our listeners, and our viewers from all over the world. Once you are a viewer or a listener, yes, you're a friend of the show. And we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We know you could be in so many other places and spaces right now, but you have chosen to spend time with us. We value your time, so we'll jump right into it. Thanks to our amazing, inspiring guests, those who have passed through and those who will be talking to us tonight. But just before we bring them on to the panel, our lovely guests tonight, here are some reminders. So once again, welcome to the show. I am Lady Misty. Once again, I apologize for you not seeing me. You know, we got issues over here.
Well, we're gonna fix them. We're gonna fix them soon. But
we're working on fixing them. Don't worry, we're working on it. So I am Lady Misty, and of course,
this is
I don't do this alone.
DJ.
I have DJ KTE.
Yes, DJ KTE, that's me.
And, the one and only.
I tell you. And again, welcome to the show. It is now September 13th, and it's approximately 9:07 p.m. And again, guys, remember to like and subscribe. All right, and spread the word that something is happening over here on UME Radio.
Yes.
Actually, I'm sorry, September 20th. Correction, y'all. Not the 13th, September 20th.
You want to go back in time?
Yeah, I'm telling you, like the time machine, Back to the Future. I think that's where my mind went. Back to the future. But no, I'm back to the past now. Back to the present now. So we're looking at September 20th. 9:07 p.m. Welcome again one more time.
All right. So just in case you want to listen to or watch this episode or any other episodes, you can listen to UMEradio on all major digital platforms, including via our app. And go get the app, guys. It is UMEradio.com. And we can be found on the App Store or the Google Play Store. We can also be found on iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Google, Podbean, TuneIn, Spotify, Stitcher, Player, FM, and Listen Notes. So you can get us there. We're all over. All right? So go get it. Go get the app and listen to the amazing programs here on UMEradio, including this one.
Yes, indeed.
So before we get into our topic for tonight, and I haven't spilled it yet, don't worry, I haven't forgotten. We would like to share with you a little information on self-mastery with the lovely Dr. Wanda Thomas. So we are turning on the light on tonight's spotlights. Here it is.
Helping to make dreams become a reality. That is her mission. Today, we are here to introduce you to a phenomenal woman of God, an ordained minister, counselor, speaker, licensed wedding officiant, a certified chaplain. She holds a doctorate in theology, master's in pastoral counseling and divinity, and a bachelor's in psychology, along with certifications in Christian counseling, mental health, adolescent behavior, and family counseling. So I'd like to speak to you a little about your work with families and couples. When I visited your website, greatwisdomunlimited.com, powerful name by the way, I learned a lot about you, and one of the things that piqued my interest was the term self-mastery. You help people master self. What does that entail?
Well, first, before you can help anyone or make suggestions or advise anyone, you have to look at yourself in the mirror. Michael Jackson said it better, look at the man in the mirror. Before you can talk about opinions and judging others, you need to see where you stand first. Are you right within self? Not only your outer appearance, but your spiritual realm, your mind, how you react to life itself. How do you react to things that may affect you in a negative way? How do you handle those things? whatever it may be, whether it's your intimate lover or just a child. How do you handle, whether a coworker? We have etiquette for everything. So how do you handle the worst of worst situations? So for someone to master themselves, you have to find you, what makes you tick. Who are you really? Until you really know who you are, you're going to struggle. You have to be transparent, and you have to really be honest with self. What do you like? What don't you like? What you know, when this person say this, how do you respond? How do you feel? How do you react? And so you have to know self. I know me. I bind my tongue. Trust me. I bind my tongue at times because I want to react. What did God say? I'm reading this Bible over and over. I'm doing shows over and over, and I'm telling people and giving them advice, and here I am acting a fool. So I have to constantly revise myself, reposition myself. So when I give advice and opinion, trust and believe when I tell you, I'm giving it to you from my own perspective, from what I had to experience, and it worked. God worked. Not you, but God. Yes, we love our family and friends and all of this advice they give, but the key puzzle is God. And without Him, you're going to crash and burn. You can't do any of this stuff. Yeah, we have the skill set. God had blessed us. He said, I'll do this. If you just trust in me, trust in all your ways, lean not to your own understanding, I'll direct your path. All of those things are wonderful. Don't make them a cliche. Don't get the game crooked. He still gave us free will, and we still got to live in this world that is very negative. And so we have to pull out the best in us.
So how important would you say self-mastery is for couples?
Oh, wow. That is a big plus when it comes to couples. Depending on every situation is really different. A new couple, an old couple. The old couples, you know, you've been in a relationship forever. You got to rebuild yourself. You got to redevelop yourself because you may be getting bored with one another. You got your new couple. They're now running on feelings and emotions and all of this infatuation, and they don't understand in a couple of years or whatever, that's going to die. You're going to have to reinvent yourself again because what got you there and what made you happy there, stuff's going to change. Life's going to change. Life changes happen, and it makes you reinvent yourself all the time.
Indeed. So my final question is, how does someone book your services?
Call me up. Go to my website. Send me an email. You can text me. You can call me.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
You guys. Continue to keep up the good work.
Thank you. You can contact Dr. Wanda Thomas at GREAT, and that's GR8 Wisdom Unlimited at yahoo.com. Great Wisdom Unlimited at yahoo.com. On LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and at www.great, once again, GR8 Wisdom Unlimited.com. Or you can call at 1732 900-7362. That's 1732-900-7362. Or email us at info@UMEradio.com. Until next time, I'm Trisha Gay Kelly.
Hey America, this is Chaplain Wanda Thomas. Listen to Wanda Road to Success with Great Wisdom Unlimited every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time during the Gospel Connection on UMEradio.com, America's hottest web radio experience. This web radio program offers you information and tools that will help you to become empowered with skills for successful life outcomes. With so many different ways you can listen, you're going to love the way we sound. And now we're on Alexa. Just say, Alexa, play WNJR, be blessed, and get connected to us.
All right. Thank you so much, Lady Trish. And of course, that was Lady Dr. Wanda Thomas. She says, for more info, go to great, and that's GRE, the numeral 8, wisdomunlimited.com.
Yes.
So for
GR8.
yes, so for tonight we are looking at the topic. Drum roll, please. When did dating become a full-time job? When did dating become a full-time job? Yes, and this discussion tonight is courtesy of a research done by Pew Research, which indicates that almost half of the public, almost half, that's a big number, almost half of the public says dating has gotten harder in the last 10 years.
Very hard.
Oh my God. It has gotten harder in the last 10 years. Man, no.
Yes,
this research that it can be found on UMEradio, the website, it says that 2/3 of those who are single and looking for a relationship or dates say that their dating life is either going not too well or not at all well. That's 67%, while 33% says it's going very or fairly well.
Okay.
So majorities of daters across divides by gender, age, race, and ethnicity, education, sexual orientation, and marital history say that their dating life has not gone well. Why?
Wow. I think I know why, but I'll tell you in the show. If you keep on listening, I'll tell you why in the show.
Here are some reasons. So most daters say it's been hard to find people to date, but some groups find it more difficult than others. So this is all daters across, and 75% says it's very difficult. Looking for a relationship, only 82% says it's difficult.
Oh, that's high. Yeah. Wow.
Open or casual dates, 72% says it's also difficult. I thought that this would be easy because it's just casual, but
even that's hard.
All right. Urban daters, those in the urban areas, that's 64%. Saying it's very difficult. Yeah. Suburban or
80%.
rural, 80%. That's a big number. Currently dating online, 70%. Wow. Online dated in the past, 75. Well, that's not a very big margin. That's a margin of 1%. And never dated online, 75%.
Wow. And there's so many dating services online. So
yes. And
those who they're probably too much.
I'm guessing. And those who are saying it's very easy are in the low 20s, or the mid 20s, low 20s, but not higher than that.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah. Really
now it says among these daters who report that they have had difficulty in the past year finding someone to date, no one explanation for their difficulty stands out as most important. The challenges of finding someone looking for the same type of relationship, that's 53%, finding it hard to approach people, 46%, finding someone who meets one's expectation, 43%, top the list as the major reasons why it has been difficult to find some people to date. However, substantial shares also say that the limited number of people in their area to date, limited number of people, wow, being too busy, that's 34%, and people not being interested in dating them, that's 30%, are major reasons. Many men say it's difficult for them to approach people, while majorities of women say it's hard to find someone looking for the same type of relationship as them who meet their expectations.
Okay.
For their part, men are more likely to say difficulty in approaching people. That's 52% of men versus 35% of women. And being too busy, 38% men, 29% women are major reasons it has been difficult to date.
Well, these numbers
So,
are really, really fascinating, I tell you.
yeah, so here's, yeah, it is. So it says here that the majority of single adults don't feel a great deal of pressure to be in a committed relationship. And we have seen that trend of recent. Some 37% say they feel a lot or some pressure from society who find a partner. And 31% say they feel pressure from their family. Just
Yeah.
22% say the same about pressure coming from their friends. Very small shares say they feel a lot of pressure from each of these sources. So we can see that there are quite a number of persons now, persons from the age range between 18 and 29 years old. 28% says, they have pressure from any of these friends, family, from friends, right?
Right.
18 to 29 say that they feel the most pressure from their family members. And the society has copped that big margin, 53%. So 53% of persons between the ages of 18 and 29 say that they feel the bulk of the pressure coming from society.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty. That's pretty. The numbers are. Wow.
Yes.
I had no clue it was so serious. Yeah. So we have a lot of folks that's going to baseball, so to speak, but no home runs here. Or
That's right.
very
So
little home runs.
it says almost half of the public says dating has gotten harder in the last 10 years. Nearly half of the US adults, 47%, say that dating is harder today for most people compared with 10 years ago, while a third say it is about the same, 19%. Say it's easier today. In every age group except for those 65 and older, more say dating is harder today than say it's easier or the same it was 10 years ago. Adults 65 years and older are about as likely to say it has gotten harder as they are to say it is about the same as it was. Adults younger than 50 are more likely than those who are older to say dating has gotten easier in the last 10 years. 27% of those ages 18 to 29 and 21% of those ages 30 to 49 say it has gotten easier compared with 15% each of those 50 to 64 and 65 and older. And if you are viewing your screen, you will see the variations as it relates to age group and how they view dating over the past 10 years. Now, it also says that women are twice as likely as men, 26 versus 13%, to say the increased risk is a reason dating is harder now. They are also more likely than men to say that it is harder now because dating has become more casual.
Okay.
For their part, men are somewhat more likely to say technology is the reason.
A whole lot of substitute, huh?
Yes,
So Lady Misty, so can you imagine?
I'm sorry, DJ KTE. This report was conducted in October of 2019.
And that's very recent, yes.
By Anna Brown.
yesterday.
Yeah, submitted by Anna Brown August 20, 2020.
Wow.
Yes.
So can you imagine what it'll be like in 10 years from now?
Listen.
Wow. It's gonna be scary. They're gonna have probably new dolls, this because what they're having now, they're having a whole lot to like close to real life things, like they have these, we call them these imagination games, and you have these weird looking dolls and machinery and stuff, and these virtual world where
Mm-hmm.
folks tend to stay in their house and go in these worlds and do all kinds of things, and so people becoming a lot more disconnected, even
That's
though they're
true.
more
That's true.
connected.
And I think that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why I think dating has gotten harder. But personally, I think it's gotten harder because we don't have because of technology. Yes, I mean that percentage that would say technology has some dealings in it because
Yeah.
we have gotten so antisocial.
Even though we have
So
all these so-called
even
networks in
right.
the
So we are
relation. Yeah.
hiding behind screens and all of these
Yeah.
things, and so it's much easier to fabricate how we really feel.
True.
So that genuineness
It's not there.
is not there.
Yeah, and then folks these days are trying so hard to get likes, that they put on this imagery.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's really scary, really scary.
It is. And personally, I don't know. If I wasn't married right now, I think it would be hard for me
Wow.
it is so scary. Like even online dating, that is a scary world for me. I know persons who have, I mean, dated online and it worked for them. And I'm not talking to somebody who says that they're 27 and behind the screen is a 58-year-old old man somewhere hooked up in a shed somewhere. I don't know.
What I'm saying?
I'm so paranoid like that.
Gosh, yes.
You know,
and plus the stories that we've heard.
listen.
I mean, there's been some real scary, and I've heard people who have actually gone to meet the person, and they were like so shocked at what
It
they
happened.
saw
Listen, I'm telling you,
on online opposed to what they saw in person. It was like
some
are you
very
kidding me here?
unsavory characters.
Yes,
Some
yes,
very,
yes.
very unsavory characters. And listen,
Yes.
I can't. And guys, if you're just joining us, we are talking about dating. When have dating become when did dating become a full-time job? So please chime in. Good night, entrepreneurs allowed. I see you, and you're saying I'm single, and it's very, very and it is sad. Yeah, it's sad. Relationship is scary. Catfishing is a big issue. Yes, I know. Catfishing.
Yeah.
Good night, Satin Brownie. I see you. Hey, entrepreneurs, thank you for making it tonight. Listen, that catfishing thing is just so.
It is
It's such a
serious.
big thing.
Yeah, it is.
At first, I didn't know what they were talking about. I was like, what does that mean? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But just listening, and I'm a crime documentary junkie, so
Oh,
I'll be
really? I didn't
watching
know
all these
that.
crime documentaries.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I like to watch the first 48 and the detectives and the snapped and all those things.
Oh,
And
Sam
I'm
Brownie
like,
said she's experienced catfishing. Oh my goodness.
oh my
Oh, it must have
God,
been a terrible experience.
listen,
I mean,
Satin, you're gonna have to talk to me
but
about that off the air.
but Lady Miss, let me put this out there. I mean, there is new technology now where they can actually show you a complete different image of who they are, family, friends, living arrangement, where they live, and it's a whole lie. And it seems real.
I know.
And they can have you talking to somebody who is not them. And you think it's a person. It looks real, it feels real, it seems like authentic, and it's not. Yeah.
And DJ KTE, just reading the data a while ago, I was a little bit taken aback that the percentage who say that technology is a part of dating being hard. I was shocked that it was such a small percentage.
Yes.
I know, and just to slide away from technology, I know that society plays a big part, and technology is woven into that too.
And
society plays a big part in that kind of pressure. Yes, DJ KTE, go ahead.
You're right, but I think having a little bit of experience, because at one time, I was just, I was online, looking around. I tried a couple of dating sites, didn't go too deep in there, but they have you put your profile, and they ask for so much information.
Yes.
I mean, they like they wanted your life. just to find somebody. I guess they're trying to make sure that you're, that you're who you are, and there was no crazy person on the line doing anything crazy. But when I went through the process, I never paid, but I got a lot of interest. So I didn't experiment one time. I did experiment. I put real numbers, who I was, my degree, my education level, just basic stuff about me, what I like, so my habits, and I saw who was actually coming in my inbox and who who were showing interest. So on another side,
were they gold diggers?
Listen to me.
Just asking.
Not really. It wasn't the gold diggers yet. But on another side, I tried to do a little exaggeration. So a little bit of exaggeration. And man, with a whole different market of female coming at you, But of course, you see that people looking for a step up, sometimes looking for, I would say, what can I get, So people have now learned how to put things out there.
Okay.
That's attractive, nice, and catchy, and really almost alluring. Because I've seen some people, they have like 4 or 5 pictures, and you see the first one looks so nice. So you try to go further. I'm like, is that the same person I just saw a while ago? How it looks so different? I'm seeing maybe 120 pounds, but I'm seeing 180 pounds. I mean, how do you have the same pictures on the same screen? So myself, they were hoping for you to actually not go further, or I don't know, but it was. I had some strange characters, how people showed up, and it was an amazing experience. So yeah, I mean, you can easily put something online that looks good and sounds good. But if you don't test it properly,
they used to have it.
Yeah. By the time you actually get the real
here
facts,
in Jamaica,
it's too late. Yeah. Yeah, you were saying, Lady Misty.
It's too late. Yeah, here in Jamaica, one time, a few years ago, it doesn't happen so much now. Here on the island, I know, when you get cable here, you would see a lot. I don't see it a lot now, but you would see a lot of dating sites. So that's where we learned about all these dating sites. So you have eHarmony and the Farmers Only and the Christian Only, and I'm like, okay. So there's variety out there. Okay. And then I watch a crime documentary. I'm like, nope. Because I don't know if I'm talking to a serial killer. But going back to the data though, something jumped out at me. Because there was a disparity there with men versus women as it relates to what they want. Men were saying they were leaning on the side of casual, and women were saying it's harder to date because of their expectations.
Yeah. Lady Misty, I tell you something, that's a very it's for real. But Lady Misty, we kind of at the point where we want to really get a guest on tonight. What do you say, Lady Misty?
Oh yes, sure. Yes, so we have 2 special guests tonight.
Yes. However, we do have one.
I think it's one.
Yeah.
We had 2 slated for tonight. Yes, we had Mr. Chase Campbell, from here in Jamaica, and he has been on the show before, and he sent word that he could not make it again, unfortunately. That's okay, we still love you. We're gonna call you again, this. So shout out to you, Mr. Campbell. Thank you for accepting.
He's actually not feeling well. And let's pray for him. He had a little some pains. So he didn't expect that for it to happen. So that was here on the show. We thank you for coming, but he just actually had to go because he was experiencing some pains.
Our prayers, our love and support goes out to you, Chase.
So we thank you, Chase, for making the effort that you did. We pray
Right.
that you feel
But we
better.
have our new guests.
Yes, we
And I
do.
always like, yeah, for
Hmm.
the first time to our show. And we want to welcome Miss Keisha Williams.
Welcome,
And
welcome.
she is from New York. She's all the way over there in New York. So accept sunny, sunny, sunny greetings from over here in the island of Jamaica to
Yes.
you in New York. Good night, Keisha. How are you?
Good. Good night. Good night, everyone. I'm doing fine. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Great.
Thanks for
You
having
are
me.
most welcome. You are most welcome. Thank you so much for accepting our invite and for joining us tonight. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and
All
let me
right.
say that,
So,
and let me say quickly that this lady here
mhm,
is someone I've known for
mhm.
many years, and
All right.
amazing young lady, amazing family. You know, her dad and great pastor he was, and just good to have her
Mhm.
here tonight. And she, it wasn't a long notice, but I gave she got, but she responded very kindly and willingly, and that meant a lot to us and to the show.
Great. We are grateful
Yeah.
for that.
Yes.
All right. So let's jump right in. So tonight we're talking about dating, uh, the difficulties of dating, and how to navigate through dating. So I'm gonna be all up in Keisha's business tonight. So,
Me too. Me too. Oh yeah.
Miss Keisha, how has dating been? Are you dating? Have you ever dated? Have you thrown it all away? Have you found the one? What was the experience like for you? You'll
Keisha,
never
I
do it
said nothing.
again.
I said nothing. That's why she's going there. I didn't. I kept my mouth shut, and she's
Wow.
just doing her thing. So you have the story, the past, the middle, and the
Yep.
present.
Yep.
Go right
Yep.
ahead.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So, so let me begin with I have been happily married for the past 17 years.
Ooh, I thought I was
Okay, so we
younger.
off the
Woo.
dating shelf. Okay,
Yep.
we off
Off
the
the
dating
dating
shelf.
shelf. Off the dating shelf. We're off the dating shelf. And I would say, for me, dating back in the days, back in the days, it was where, I grew up in a Christian home. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously, there were standards, there were procedures, there were morals that,
Yes.
live up to, so what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. So that was
Mm-hmm.
always, the foundation for which, I started, living life and, meeting others and stuff like that. So it was important to have that foundation. And then for me, that's what,
Mm-hmm.
that's really what guided me over the, over the years of dating,
Yes.
back in either high school or college. And
Mm-hmm.
you do it a couple times, over and over, and then you get to the point where you make up in your mind, like, like what is the purpose of dating? Like what do you
Hmm.
want to achieve?
Right.
What do you want to accomplish? What's the point? Like what are you going in for? Like people go to a job to utilize their skills and to serve and to give their skills to an employment agency, so
Right.
the same thing with dating. What is it that I'm going in there for? What is it that
Mm-hmm.
I'm given? Because I'm not just going to be receiving, I'm also going to be given also. So it's a give and take relationship. And I think a lot of people are have become really picky these days, because they see so many things out there, and everyone's status, like you talked about the likes and the how
Yeah.
many followers, and it's
Uh
all about
huh.
status.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about status, and it's lost its true meaning of dating, just getting to know someone. I'm not necessarily dating you to say that I'm going to marry you, but dating is like, okay, I'm learning about someone else, learning about their likes, their dislikes, and they're also
Mm-hmm.
learning about me in return. And then I make a decision whether that's something I want to go forward with, or just say, hey, this is not working out. So I think first of all, knowing the objective, the reason, why am I doing this? Why is it something short term, or is it
Mm-hmm.
long term? Like
Yeah.
what's the point of me, doing this? Because then that gives me a better feel, a better take on what I need to be doing, putting into the particular relationship. So first, I
Right.
think first and foremost is what's my purpose for
Hmm.
dating?
And
What do I
Keisha,
want? Mhm.
as you talk about that, I'm looking back at the data, and this based on what I'm seeing here, usually, and DJ KTE, you may jump in and disagree with me at any time.
I promise I will.
But usually the woman usually have a sense of purpose and expectation, because this is saying that 56% of women find it hard to date because it's hard to find someone who meets their expectation. Women usually have that in their mind, you know, I want this kind of person, I want them to have this, I want them to have that. And how important or not important, or do we overdo it sometimes? That's why it's so hard for us. Or, you know, do we say, listen, I ain't lowering my standards for nobody, you know, and know the experience, you know, back in the day, you know, is probably different from now, but expectations, men, it was only 35% of men who, you know, had this as a thing, you know. So how do you think, what do you think about that disparity, you know, women kind of having, you know, a game plan as opposed to the men?
Well, you know, women are, you say women are like nurturers, you know, from the beginning. Women are nurturers. We have that caring. We want things to be, you know, set up a certain way. You know, not that men don't have that, but women are more nurturing, I would say, than men to begin with, because you know, we're the ones who conceive. You know, we have that you know, that inner ability. Innate. There you go. It's innate in us. So I think that that's part of our makeup, where we have expectations of, you know, we want A through Z, we want A, B, C, all the way
through. Detailed, huh? It's all
detailed. Yeah, very detailed, and then that makes it harder, because then you there's all these choices, and then you have to, like, you know, like a multiple choice exam, you know, you
A, B, C, or D, which one I pick?
Yeah, you cross out, you know, and then you're left with one, or you may not even choose at all. Sometimes you're doing an exam and then you just like leave it blank.
Oh no.
Because you don't even want to choose, because you don't want to take that risk. And that's the big word right there, risk.
So Keisha, 17 years. Now, that's first of all, I must say congrats on that.
Thank you.
But when you got married, did dating stop for you, or did it continue? And what did you do to kind of keep the fire going for 17 years?
Okay. Yeah, I think dating has continued, but I would say not as much as before, because, you know, you have kids and you have, you know, responsibilities, but we do try to, you know, make time here and there. Just last week, we walked in the rain.
Look at that, huh? Walking in the rain. All right.
Walked in the rain and then just went to this field, and they had exercise equipment. So we were just like, you know, checking it out. So we just did that like last just Monday that just passed. Last Monday we just did that, just to, you know, get out of the house, and just so dating should continue, and not necessarily even going outdoors. A date could be indoors. It could be right in your living room. It could be
especially with a pandemic going on, you know. You have to
be right. Yep, it could be right in your living room, and then not even dating itself, but just showing that you care. You know, like you know, sometimes we'll write like little love notes to each other. You know,
wow! Look at that! Wow.
Yeah, yes. And then we play this thing where we'll just be saying, "What do you think about that fan up there? I love you." You know, so little things, we catch each other off guard and tell each other we love you. At least every day we're telling each other we love you. I'm drinking my cup of water, and I'm drinking my cup of water like, what does this say? I'm like, I love you. You know, so we try to just spice it up, just change it up in whatever way we feel comfortable to be able to continue. I mean, say it is work. It is work. But I think, like I said, the purpose of dating, like you got to, everyone has to find out what is their purpose of dating. You know, why am I doing it? You know, what do I want to achieve? I think that's the first thing that everyone has to figure out for themselves. What is their purpose? And then when they figure out the purpose, then they can say, okay, so this is my purpose. And me, I've been raised in a Christian background, and I can tell you, we do a lot.
Hold on, wait a minute, hold on. This Christian thing here. So yes. How did you know that he was the one? How did you know that he was the one?
Oh, don't even.
You want to know how that happened?
Don't even, because there's a story. There's a story.
Yeah, the story. Not the lady.
There's a story. There's a story. I'll tell you the quick.
We are here for it. We are here for it.
Give us a short version. Give us a short version.
Short version. So, a friend, an older lady who was like an evangelist or someone, just asked him, you found anyone yet? And he said, no, not yet. And she said, you know what? Pray about it. Ask the Lord for a sign. Ask the Lord for a sign.
One of those. I got you.
So, yeah, one of those. Yep. So he asked for 3 signs. He asked for 3 signs.
3? Oh,
yep.
Man.
He asked for 3 signs. And in a nutshell, all 3 signs were me.
Oh, wow.
Checkmate.
Yep. So he wanted something, and I did not know about those signs at all. I didn't know about it until after the fact. I had no idea about it. But he just asked. Go ahead.
So I'm sorry. Because I'm seeing you have an amazing smile. So did it say 3 smile signs or 3 smiles?
No.
Show 3 smiles.
3. Let's see. One was she has to have a mole. All right. You see this right here?
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I could get him to tell you.
That is so
that
deep.
is a very
and
that's
he didn't
a
know?
very specific sign.
And he didn't know. He didn't know that you had a mole before.
No, he didn't pay attention to it. Nope.
Oh my goodness.
I think that sign, Keisha, was a test. I think he was just testing God to say she'd better have a mole.
And the second one was the second one was
she has to sing to me. She has to sing to me.
Wait a minute. And you did sing to him. Oh wow. And the third?
And the third was she has to take me on a trip on the ocean. Yeah.
No, and you did.
Yeah, we went on a cruise, one of those cruises in New York City.
Look at
like
that,
one of those lunch cruises that they had back in the days. Yeah, we went on a cruise together on the some ocean out there in Manhattan.
I know those Liberty Cruise. I
those cruises. Yeah.
Oh,
I invited him to one of those years back. Yeah, and
that is so cool. I like that.
It was later on. So like things like that, it solidifies. Like he was just trying to have some clarity and just to know like this is the one person. He asked Lord for a sign. These 3 things, and then those 3 things were packaged together.
Listen, don't test God. He's gonna come up with the results.
Yeah. So I would say that. So I would say like just having that foundation. Honestly, for anyone listening, having that foundation where like you're asking God for help because like we can't do it on our own, and we have our own judgments, we have our own schisms, we have our own qualms, we have our own perception. So and it's clouded. Sometimes we may want someone who's tall, dark, and handsome, and that may not necessarily be the right thing to do. So I would encourage anyone to pray and ask God to not necessarily show you a sign, but to direct you in terms of who you'd want him to spend some time with and to get to know someone else, and not necessarily to be dating them, but just to even have a friend. Because it could just start with just a friendship of, you're hanging out with this person and, you have certain things that you like to do with the other person, and you guys are just talking just casually, just as friends, and then it can bloom later on. But I think
my stories was just totally different. I had a Jonah story. Jonah would be running and running. You'll be running, and I got this sign a different way.
Right.
Yeah. I got this sign a different way. I was running away from, no, I wanted to be by myself, do me. But that didn't work out. The Lord said, no, you gotta go this way.
So tell us something a little bit here.
I hear entrepreneurs alone, so he wants to hear mine. You want me to tell him? Okay, I'll do like what Keisha.
How far did you run now? How far did you run?
I do like what Keisha did, just a little bit. All right. So I'm a church girl, so I grew up in church, just like Keisha did. So, signs are very important. Signs are very important. But I didn't want nobody in church. No. Nope.
Is it because no one was there, or because she just didn't?
That was one of the reasons. In my age group, not much.
Okay.
And then I was around in so much, I didn't see good examples of who you'd want to be with. So at church, as in the physical church setting, they were great. All holy, all that. Outside of church, no.
Wow.
So I wasn't looking there. And I remember, I tell this story all the while, when I was 12 years old, I had it written down. I'm not getting married to no pastor, no policeman, no politician. The 3 P's. None of them.
Huh? No peace for me.
None of them, no. My husband, who is a pastor, by the way, see the irony of the whole story?
You see that?
Yeah, so I was running, and I tried to date persons outside of that era, outside of that community. So just regular people, regular schmegular people. Nobody like that.
Wow.
And long and short of it, when that confirmation came, because he asked for signs as well, but when that he wrote me a letter, as in a physical pen and paper letter. And
that was it, huh?
No, when I went home, I cried.
Oh.
Not tears of joy. Not tears of joy. Because I'm like, no, this is not what I asked for. Running away.
I think he showed up. Talk to him, Lady Misty. Talk to him, Lady Misty.
Yes.
Talk to him. Huh.
And we were friends before, but I wasn't looking like, no, I don't want that kind of responsibility. I was running away from the responsibility of it all. You being church, the responsibility of being a pastor's wife and all of those things. And I'm like, no, God, I'm going to be in this fish belly because I'm running.
Oh, wow.
I'm running. But when God has a plan for your life, you can't run away from it.
Wow. And
so here I am. This year makes 6 years. 6 years in, so I'm right behind you, Keisha. I'm right behind you. I'm right behind you.
That's awesome.
But I heard Keisha talk about the being in the Christian, coming from a Christian home, and there are principles involved, and all of those kinds of things. How important is it for those principles? For the dating era, because I know now not everybody grew up like how we grew up. Not everybody grew up in a Christian and the man has to meet the parents and all of those things. Those things don't happen no more because people getting married in Vegas, people eloping.
You see a ring online posted somewhere,
you just see the Facebook status change, overnight. But outside of the perimeters of Christendom, and how important are those principles overall important in the dating scene?
Well, I think they're very important. Like, I think principles with anything, with your work, you get to work on time, right? That's the principle, being on time for work. In terms of like sharing, so I think it's just basic, even outside of being a Christian, just having the basic foundation with when you're going to be picking up dating, in terms of just number one, being yourself. Being yourself. You can't pretend to be someone else, because it's going to come out, sooner or later. Just being real. If you like to make jokes, that's you. If you're kind of like shy or on the quiet side, that's you. So I think just being your, like you said, your authentic self, and like this is what you have to offer. So I think if you're your authentic self, and your values, like what morals you hold dear to, what you stand up for, integrity, or if it's compassion, if it's sharing with others. So I think just having the basic, and respect, that's up there on the totem pole, to respect. So having all of these qualities, these foundational things, helps with any kind of relationship, whether it's home, whether it's church, whether it's school, whether it's a store. All of those go across the border, across all avenues. Respect is respect at home. Respect is respect at the supermarket. Respect is respect when you're dating. It doesn't change. So that's the thing about it. Respect and honesty. You're honest in the store.
That's right.
At home. Whether in the street. If you at the store, I was at the store one time. They gave me extra money. What do you think I did the next day? Carry back with change, because I'm like, my conscience would have been like seared, like, oh, they gave me like $1 extra, and I carried back the money to the guy, and he's like, oh, I don't see that a lot these days. I'm like, well, that's just me, So just having that same, you're the same whether you're in the dark or in the light. I think just having that foundational respect and the honesty and trust, across all avenues of your life. That's important, even, outside of being a Christian, because that takes on a whole nother realm. But having that respect across the board, it's like the foundation for any kind of relationship. And then you think about the word relationship, it's really pretty much how you relate in, relationship.
So,
it's like,
so
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Here's a question. This is, I've heard Steve Harvey. We all know Steve Harvey, and he has some great, he has some ideas, and he purports things about relationships and so on. And I heard him talking about his daughters and dating, because I know he leans more to the women and how they should date and how on and so on. And he's saying dating, and I've heard this too, right? Not only from him, but right across, dating is different from courting. So my question is dating harder now because we are mixing the definitions?
I would think
versus courting. Dating is just getting to know a person. It is usually said casual. Courting now is a little bit more exclusive. So, this is the one person you want to get to know, because we are mixing up the idea that we should get from each. Because I think to me, I think they're stepping stones. So you start at dating, then you go to courtship, then it moves into. So is it harder for us, the younger folks, the millennials, the Gen Zs, is it harder for us because we jump into we meet this person and automatically we jump into this idea of hey, without actually getting, last week we went through 114 questions, was it right, DJ KTE? 112, 114 questions.
To find out and check and
we don't do that no more. We don't ask people things anymore. We don't ask things. We just get into all of this emotion and feeling. So is that a thing? Are we getting them mixed up?
Yeah, that's a good point that you brought. I think I think you're absolutely right. We're getting them mixed up because like you're dating, back to what I said. What is the purpose? What is the purpose of my dating? Like, am I dating so I can get married, or am I dating so I can learn to socialize and be around people and find out how to respond to people, how to get along with people? So I think like the first thing is your purpose of like, why am I dating? And then, like you said, the next thing is courtship. Like, so, obviously that's the next step after, where you've dated a while and you've seen like, all right, I like this. And then you make up your mind whether or not this person, you want to carry them along for the journey, the next step, or you say like, goodbye. You're like, nice to meet you. So I think, like you said, like that's like you're driving a car, you're going at like 20 miles per hour, right? You're going slow. And then you decide, all right, this person's going at 5 miles.
But nobody likes slow cars anymore. Everybody likes the fast cars.
That's a problem. That's the problem. I think dating is like, you're starting out at 20 miles per hour. You're going slow because you're getting to know people. You're getting to know about yourself also. What
people
you
be
can.
running red lights and all these things, all the red flags.
I think what happened is that in dating, as I observe over the years, is that people leave from relationship to relationship, right? But depending on how they did it, their last relationship, they tend to want to repeat the same thing. So most people, I would say last number of years, it's really about how fast they can get to the bed. It really is. We have been sexualized. The cultures, from the movies, the TVs.
That's true, DJ KTE.
These new shows, these new housewives, and these new things. They're all these new Paradise Island and tequila and and the new there's this new thing about the Bachelorette and the Bachelor and it's about testing out and feel everything before you. So it really has been woven into a culture now that when you meet someone, don't take too long before you see what's in the bag. And so they keep hopping and skipping with the same mentality. Next one I meet, I want to get there too. Next one I meet, I want to get there too. So that seems to be, and even in the church, a lot of church people now, they want to get there too. They don't want to get married before they test the waters and start to feel things out. And then, as one of the viewer said just now, that he was dating someone, getting to know someone, and the person wanted to, I guess, come across as marriage. It's like, how about getting to know each other on a very slow, tasteful.
That pressure, so they're under that pressure.
Opposed to that marriage, and looking for that marital thing so early. Sometimes that can be counterproductive as well. But we're in a time where it's really crazy. And let me ask a question real quick, Keisha. As it relates to you having kids, and I'm sure one day they're gonna be dating soon. They just start with the little likes and crush. Mama like this, daddy like this, whatever it is. How are you preparing those little kids, or little young minds, in today's crazy world? About dating? Have they approached you yet? Have they mentioned that dating to you? And I like this boy, that boy. Have you addressed those things yet?
Okay, so
is there an age threshold?
Yeah. So I would say that between more so my husband has, he has laid the Lord down.
Oh no, with a gun? I with a bullet. Which one?
Okay, yeah.
He's laid the Lord down. He's serious. He let them know, like, he already told him, no boyfriends until you're finished with college. Nope.
Oh, wow.
Nope. He already let them know, and trying to explain to them, like the ramifications.
But that's gonna be hard, right?
Yeah. Of course. I know.
But again, how about dating as a teenager, but with guidance?
Oh, like in a group setting. Yes, we said in a group setting. Oh yeah, definitely in a group setting. Yeah, in a group setting where and then you kind of honestly. You kind of have to know these because the person who my husband now, it's a friend, it's a family friend that we knew way back. It was just a friend who used to come over for dinner, and our families knew each other. Our parents knew his parents. Okay. So I think the biggest thing that my husband says now, like, you have to know someone who can vet that person who you're dating. Like, are they a serial killer? How do you know?
They can vouch for them, yeah.
Yeah, you have to know someone.
Yeah, I'm telling you about those serial killers, they are very, very convincing, yes.
Yeah, so you have to know someone who you can say, who can tell you about that person, because the person who told my husband about me said, yeah, Keisha, blah, blah. And then, they could say such and such about me, and they knew about me, my upbringing and everything. So you have to have someone who can vouch for that person, knowing that, oh yeah, this person is is integrity. This person is always nice. This person is this quality. So you have all of that bringing to the table. Someone else can speak for that. Whereas this online thing, no one's speaking for anyone there. So you fall into a risk. That's a risk that you take. Whereas just the old time way of getting to know people, just, talking, picking up a phone. We don't have to say like, oh, let me check their Facebook page, their Instagram page, how many likes they have.
And something too, Keisha. One thing I would say to all
that
young
may
ladies,
have to be started part of the criteria now, because everybody's on social media.
Yes, Lady Misty, as I was saying to Keisha now, that I would encourage every lady out there who especially those in their teenagers, young adulthood, and even older, please, as a female, if you see a guy that you're interested in and you guys start to date, please make sure the guy has some accountability. Somebody that he is accountable to. Too many girls I've known dated guys who were they were just like loose cannons. They couldn't call this and couldn't call that in case they were misbehaving themselves. They were able to just whatever, come in and out. So that's and a lot of guys, watch out when they come if they try to isolate you from your own network. Very important. Very important. You've got to make sure that he is accountable. Some major brother or uncle or that you can trust. You can say, hey, he did what? He did this, whatever. A pastor, a mentor, but a loose cannon.
Somebody
who
can give account.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We haven't spoken about this, but I want to ask this question because there are a lot of persons out there who they're young, not so young. They want to get back into the dating arena, and especially for those who have have not dated a long time, and now with the change of society and everything, they want to get back in the dating. Let's talk about what are some of the things that they should look out for. What are those things? Because this is a time when we pick up on those things in the dating era. Before you say, okay, I want to settle down with that one. At least some of them. You won't see everything because you won't see everything. But what are some of the major things that a person should look for? Like a single person who probably a divorcee, want to be out on the dating, somebody who's widowed, a young person. I know there are different things based on, how you're getting out there, because a divorcee may be looking for something different than somebody who's widowed, than a younger person, a teenager, young adult. But, what are some of the things that, they can look out for? Some of the things that, would caution them to say, hey, don't move so fast. Pay attention to this.
Right. Well, I think, like you said, first their eyes have to be open, past all the emotions. That's
emotions,
a hard
emotions.
Look past those
that's a hard place to be, Keisha. Yeah. That's a hard place to be. Love cover the multitude of sins.
Look past. And I think just seeing how, like I said, like so you're dating someone, but like you said, you have to be able to find out from someone else about that person. Like that someone else that they're accountable to. Like if like this person, if their brother or their cousin or uncle, you have to find out on the down low how they are when they're not around you.
Yeah.
Because that will tell you a lot about the person. Because dating, it's all a facade. Everyone puts on a show in dating. We all know that. We put on a face. We put on our best. We put out our best to the person. With the best everywhere we go. We're opening doors. We're paying for the meal. We're doing all these things because you want to impress the person. But
in other words, some people they never fought it in front of while they're dating. They don't pass gas. I can't afford to pass gas, not even once, right?
Right.
And I always brush my teeth.
Lord, yes, that's true.
I got a mint in my mouth all the time, making my arms smelling good. And all of a sudden,
chewing 32 times before you swallow.
Yes, check your teeth before you leave out, and just all that good stuff.
Right.
And after that, you pass that stage. It's like, good God Almighty, man,
it is what it is.
Couldn't you at least wind the glass down the car, before you did that, They don't.
Oh my God. In Jamaica, they have a saying to say, if a dirt, it is what it is.
Right. So I was saying that so pretty much, you know, we know in dating, we all know people put forward sometimes things that they truly aren't, not their real self. You know, it's just it's the impressive self that we all put forward, you know, when we're dating. You know, we put forward the best foot, the best clothes, the best perfume. We put so much into it because we want to impress someone. We want them to like us, you know. So we put that extra oomph into it just to like get someone to like, you know, like us back, you know, for whatever reasons. But I think that things like that, being able to find out about the person outside of when you're dating, I think that's so important to know, like what other people are saying about that person. If you have some kind of connection, you know, but you don't have that connection if you don't know anything about the person. You're like a target because you have no idea.
You know. Speaking of that, Keisha, I'm gonna ask one of the guests to kind of come on and just share briefly about this cash fit thing, because I think it's very serious. Because you know, I've known someone myself who really ended up not only got duped, but also lost money too. You know, and lots of it. So that guest who talked about possibly sharing a brief experience about catfishing and how she allowed that to sustain to where she finally got the truth out of that individual. Okay. Could you share with us? Yes, come on, please, and talk about it if you don't mind.
So yes, I on Facebook. It was on Facebook, and somebody reached out to me, and he tried to reach out to me with multiple accounts as well. So because it was happening so often, I thought, all right, let's go there. And based on what I do, I wanted to do it for the research, because I've been studying relationships because I'm single, just to understand, you know, relationships more than that, more than being single. I didn't grow up in a family, and I didn't think I quite understood relationships. So I wanted to research, and I've been researching for a while. And so when that happened, I went there, and I got to the place where I'm like, first of all, you're not who you say you are. It's a celebrity. Like, why would you even do that? It's easy to check to see if it's really you. So I'm like, you can tell me. I mean, you sound so wonderful. I like how you sound. You're very nice. Like, tell me who you are. And you're correct about the picture thing. They will show you the picture. You have to ask them to stand up and move around. So for anyone who's doing it, ask them when they show you their WhatsApp video, because that's what they do. They don't want to go on Zoom, and they show you a picture that's really of the person. You need to ask them to get up and walk around. Stand up. Let me see you. Right? Don't just let them give you 30 seconds and they're gone, because they do that. Yeah. And when I eventually got a chance to get to know who he was there apologizing and everything. He was from Nigeria. And then, of course, so I'm like, what was the purpose of doing this? Because he needs help. And, I guess it was the lead up to asking me for money, but I was like, I was never going to send you money. Why would I date someone and send them money? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's not practical. Like, I would think that if someone gets me to send them money, I don't even think it's about them anymore. It's not about me. That's how I feel about it. Because if I'm dating you, what am I sending you money for? For what? Wow. It's dating. I'm not married to you. You're not my responsibility. But it was very interesting the way they do it. And then they just move on from one person to the next. And what they do is they actually look for persons who are Christians. I was talking to him about it, right? So I was asking, so why did you reach out to me and stuff, And he was like, because you're about God and things like that. So you see, they think you're Christian, so you're vulnerable. And maybe that's something single Christians should think about. Are you being thirsty and not knowing it? Unintentionally being thirsty. Are you presenting yourself like this person who's so desperate that you would just pick someone, just pick anyone, you know what I mean? So because I had to pay attention, and when I'm dating someone, I love what Shane said. It's important to date. I want to get to know you. I don't want to just jump into. As a matter of fact, when I'm dating, I don't want to hear the word marry. I was dating a guy once. I was trying to date, and he sent me a picture of a ring and a married couple, and I freaked out. I completely freaked out because at that point in time, I'm like, what do I say now? I wasn't equipped with what to say next. Because I feel like I was at a stage where I'm getting to know you. I want to meet you. I want to see what it's like walking down the road. How you think. For me, when I'm dating someone, it's important how they think. Like, how do you deal with change? If something is supposed to change, how do you deal with that? Are you someone who takes long to change to something? What happens if, one of the things I've learned in relationships is where sometimes when someone has everything, or if something is not necessarily easy, but within their power, then they'll do it. But what will you do if it's not within your immediate power? What do you do when you come upon something that's difficult? I want to learn those things about you. And so it's important. And with the catfishing, it's very serious. They even have a show that serious. I remember seeing one episode where these two people were talking for over 10 years, and the girl did not know she was talking to another girl.
Listen. I'm so scared of those things.
Yeah, but the thing is, the way you overcome it is, you see, you have to be true to yourself first. You have to be true to yourself first. If you're true to yourself, you will recognize a lie when it's coming. But if you're being dishonest, you will not recognize it. You have to be honest with yourself first. And so when he said things to me like, "Oh, you have a beautiful smile," I said, "Where did you see my smile?" On Facebook. I said, "What picture? Send me the picture." Because I don't have a picture on Facebook that has a smile.
Yeah.
Right? So little things like that, but you have to pay attention. And when they start giving you compliments and stuff, and man, when I tell a sweet voice, I mean sweet voice, and full of arguments. And once I found him out, he got I really wanted to learn more, but he just got so, I couldn't deal with it. It was too aggressive. Like, he would call, if we miss a call, he'd be like, call. Like, I don't know how you date somebody that calls you 60 times within 5 minutes. No, you're run.
Wow.
But some people actually think he does this, he wants me. No. 60 calls in 5 minutes, run.
6 calls is too much.
I know, right?
Yeah. So it's things like that. Yeah, background checks, you're right. Remember, this is how I see relationships. Relationships are no different in personal life than it is in business. True. Because you would not risk with your money, you should not risk with your heart. Your heart is certainly worth more than money. Your soul is going to be connected to this person. So you really have to think that, and a lot of people are being catfished and I think it's because they really aren't paying attention. And when you're not being honest, you will not recognize the lie. Wow. So that was my experience.
Oh, well, my good. Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much for sharing.
That was getting powerful. Yeah. Yes. Again, here at the UME Radio, we really have a desire to actually be on purpose. As you spoke earlier, Keisha, about objective. What's your goal? What's your ultimate motive? And I think that as we talk about this particular topic, purpose is a big part of what we think we should actually have in focus. So talking to our creator or designer, Lord, you know me more than I know myself, and you know who would be the perfect match. You know who would be in alignment to complete purpose. I think most of us have asked ourselves at some point in our lives, when probably younger, why was I born? Why am I here? What's my ultimate purpose? And I think that as we kind of put God first in that sense of the word, with authenticity, honesty, not that we know it all, but that He knows and He can help us. I think that we will definitely see how our things pans out and works out just in time, the right way, and we'll get the maximum benefit of what we are to do in life, our purpose, and we'll be able to meet our objectives. So I like what you said earlier, Keisha, about that goal and objective, and I have this call just said now, remain honest, because a lot of people do. They're just as greedy as the one out there trying to find them. So the person promises you money, check your money lust. The person promises you a house, check your house lust. The person promises you things. Is it really about God, or you're waiting for a break? Just to level up and get up. So as we remain in our true self and be aware and be mindful, then I think we can maximize our purpose and so forth. Yes. So again, I'm telling you, Keisha, we're just enjoying you here, and we're just enjoying your energy, man. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
I didn't finish up my thing about the driving.
Please,
kinda,
please.
Yeah,
please
go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Like I was saying that dated is okay. So you go at 20 miles per hour because it's a learning process. You're learning about yourself. You're learning about the other person. So you're driving at 20, and like you said, like if that other person's driving at 20 with you, we're doing it together, right?
We're together. Okay.
Right. However, if that person wants to go at 40 and you're still at 20,
it's a problem.
It's not going to work, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to work, right? So that's the dating where it doesn't work. Whereas now, if we're both at 20, we're still on our journey. We're still traveling along, and then all of a sudden we're going over some bumps. We're going over some bumps.
Together.
We have some issues together.
Yeah.
We're going on together. Then we decide, okay, courtship. Maybe we're going to turn the speed up a little bit.
Together.
Because now it's like we've decided, like, okay, we're in this car for so long driving, and now this becomes exclusive now, right? It becomes exclusive, whereas now we're going to be going through some hills and valleys, and we're courtship because now we want to get to another, you're courting because the point of courtship is marriage, obviously. So we've sped up, maybe we're going to like 40 miles per hour now. Maybe we're at that stage now. We're still together in the car exclusively, traveling together. We have the bumps, we have the bumps, we have the hills, we have the valleys together still in the car. And then when we come to the point of, okay, courtship, now we get to like the next stage will be marriage. So then, obviously that's where the speed, it does get to another level. It does get, it's not going to be at 20 still, obviously. It's going to be past that level now where we're saying like, all right, this is now going to be a vow. This is like really deep, really serious, where it's not no little baby games or teenager games. Like we have learned enough. We've learned enough over the course of journeying together. What I like, what you don't like, what I can tolerate, what you can't tolerate, how we can work together, and then there comes marriage. So I just wanted to say that it starts out slow. It does start out slow because it's a point of getting to know the other person and going through changes, like the other individual said, going through changes and knowing what you can tolerate and what you can't tolerate. And if they lie to you, knowing how do you respond when someone said they lied to you or they said they cheated on you?
You're getting the boots. I'm kicking you out. You're gone.
Exactly. So those things, and then just being honest. I think even for me and my husband, we really decided like having that accountability where you're not going to see me dropping off a young man in a car. Like me being married, you're not going to see another young man, like maybe 20 or 30 in the car with me dropping off him, or same thing for my husband, vice versa, him dropping off a young lady. We're not going to give
the Good Samaritan here. Maybe he's the person on the side of the street in blood. They couldn't get up. So I took it in my car, that's all it was, honey. You couldn't move anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But, being intentional, not putting yourself in situations where, you could possibly like, or people could say, oh yeah, I saw him with her in the car, and, any kind of ledge to make an argument or so. But like I said, the whole point of, those relationships is just being, like I said, being your true self, being yourself, not trying to be someone else. If you like to laugh, you like to laugh. If you like to, be a scholar, you're a scholar. Don't change it for anyone else. That's who you are. Just be your true self, so that others can see, that's who you are. And then if they're attracted to that, then so be it. But you can't pretend to be something that you're not.
Let me ask a question, and maybe Lady Miss will agree with me. As I hear you speak, I can tell that over your marriage, you had a lot of conversations. I can tell that you did. Did you? Mm-hmm. In your marriage, Keisha, you had a lot of conversation just about.
I
can see that. Yes, and that is a major part. Of success. Mm-hmm. Conversations. Yep. And as the Lady Misty read those numbers earlier, a lot of people pat each other and they're they're almost like fearful of, how do we even begin this whole process here?
Because we're not talking to each other, DJ KTE. And just like what Keisha said before, dating in marriage becomes easier because, and is very important because you took the time before to know the person. So when dating becomes intertwined in marriage, it becomes easier. It becomes something that is routinistic, something that is spontaneous, just like how Keisha was talking about, the things that she does with her husband, walking in the rain and, just doing things together. It's so much easier because that foundation was already laid. We're not talking to each other now. We're talking to other people. I told you that we are so glued to the screens of the phones and the laptops and all of those things. That personal, as we were talking about this earlier, DJ KTE, that personal interaction, that physical, intimate space. I want to talk about intimate now. I mean, just between human beings. That intimate space between people is lost. Because of all of these technological things that come in between, and they should be things that are assisting us, but they're separating us,
taking us over.
Right? And even in the dating era, like, I don't know about anybody else. This is my opinion. Like, I don't see how speed dating works. I don't know. I can't see it. Like, somebody out there, you can drop a comment if you've ever done it, if it works. I don't know. I can't see how speed dating works.
Listen,
because
it's a marketing thing. It's
I don't know.
It's just it's just getting likes and views and who knows, and another method of making money. But listen, it's almost like I thought about dating, and what's so scary about dating and frightening is that people sometimes don't know who they are when they start. And then when they start to discover themselves, they seem to change. But it's not because they just change, they're discovering themselves. When you're 25, opposed when you're 30, when you're 35, when you're 40, it's like, what's going on here? So you date someone who's young and in their 20s, and by in their 30s, they're like changed, like what's going on? Because now they're getting to know themselves differently. And like, what is this? What are you?
True.
I didn't date you when you were 25.
True.
And it's a lot of misunderstanding. It's just like when someone goes to school to get a degree, you learn all the different courses and all they're tying together to have you get this one degree to kind of have a sense of balance. But we kind of dive in this thing because of the emotions, but there's so much to our own personal dimension and our own diversity and learn ourselves and being aware and growing and changing. It's scary. So before we go, I mean, great marriage, 17 years. Give us one crazy, crazy moment, crazy story. You thought, my gosh, why did I do this? Oh, this is crazy. This man is driving me. There must be some story there somewhere. It's like, oh boy, you might have had a question. God, did I make the right decision here? And before we close out, let's give us a little reality check on that one.
Honestly, I have never experienced that. Honestly, I've never had said like, oh my gosh, like what? I never had a moment like that. Honestly, never.
Wow. Well, truly.
Yeah. No. Even if I think back, I'm like, no, because you know what? Because of my personality. I am that type of like I go with the flow. If things change, I can change. If things go left, I can go left. I don't go right when it goes left. I go with the flow. So when things happen differently, I'm like, okay.
It's not like me. My goodness, I like that.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to? I'm not the type that will be stressed out about things. People who know me, like, if I worked in the hospital before, if things are like going crazy and everything, I'm like, all right, what's next? So I'm not the type that responds to the fire, like how, like being all overly over the top at 100. I'm probably at like 0, climbing up and say, what can I do? What's next? So I haven't really gone to that point really where I would be stressed out and say, oh my, never had that because of my personality. I can go with the flow and just relax and, go with the flow, really. So that's really been my.
You're very chilled.
Yeah. That's me chill. That's very, 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 very chill. So then I don't, if there's dishes in the sink at night before I go to bed, so what?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Pray for me. I'm not yet there.
Someone's like me. Yeah, very easygoing.
It doesn't. Like those things. Yes, I would say that none of those things. I only have great stories. I really have nothing. I really have nothing negative to say. Nothing. No stories that make me like want to pull my hair up. Nothing. Nothing really. So.
That is very unique.
Heaven bless you. Heaven bless you, Keisha.
Yes.
Heaven bless you.
You are blessed indeed.
Yeah, I can't find anything. I can't find anything.
All right,
so we'll keep it like that. We'll keep it like that.
Keep it just like that. Maybe one day we have you. Maybe one day we have you both on. You and your husband. Maybe one of those couple shows, and to see if you tell the same story. Well, Well, listen. This was a great having you. It was great having you, Keisha.
No problem. Thank you.
We're coming to the close of our segment here.
Okay.
And we thank you, the audience, very engaged, of course, always. Love you guys.
Yes, and thank you to Entrepreneurs Aloud for schooling me on speed dating.
Yeah.
I saw your comment. Thank you so much, because I just couldn't get it. And Satin Brownie, thank you both, because I'm like, how does this even is it practical? But they schooled me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the persons who commented tonight. Lady Trisha Shane, I see you over there.
Yes, it was great.
Yeah.
And I want to thank I guess Chase again. We sorry for your little situation tonight, but we understand. But thank you. And hopefully we can have you on in the future. All right. Yes, Lady Misty.
Yes,
Great
thank
job.
you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful week. I want to close out with this.
You got a quote for us?
Yes. Once, when you are dating someone new, it is an opportunity to find out their true colors. Don't throw the whole box of crayon out. Test each. Let me see. Oh, I lost it. Okay. Yes. Test each one. You'll find a lovely color, a lovely personality. It will let you have your way to find out what box of crayon you really like. Yeah.
Success. Let Jah pick your spouse. I like that. Yeah. Great quote.
Yeah. So
great quote.
Test those colors and you'll see exactly what box of crayon you are and what box of crayon you like.
Yes. Love it. Lovely. So, Lady Misty, we say good night to our audience.
We say good night. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on another great episode of Let's Talk Relationships. I'm your host, Lady Misty, and I was alongside DJ KTE. Thank you to our guest, Lady Keisha Williams, who came through. Lovely talking to her and engaging her in discussion tonight. Thank you also to our online panel, because I saw you over there chatting up a storm over there on YouTube, on Facebook. Thank you so much for keeping our company each week and for talking to us. For those who didn't say anything but you listened and you're here too,
thank you
so much. Thank you so much. In all the countries all over the world, whatever platform you joined us on, we appreciate you. Continue to be a friend and supporter of this show. Have yourselves a great week and see you again next week, same time, same place.
God bless.
Let's talk
relationships on UMEradio.
So what are we talking about?
Marriage, dating, parenting, business,
and love, emotions, sex.
It's a conversation with me, Lady Misty,
and DJ KTE
on everything from hot topics to taboos.
Join us Mondays at 9 p.m. live on UMEradio.
Follow us at Let's Talk Relationship Show on Facebook or on UMEradio on Instagram. Let's talk relationships, arguments for the grown.
Get the UMEradio app to listen wherever you are. That is UMEradio, one word.
UMEradio, positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.